Good afternoon. This is the Delaware County Interactive Gaming Revenue Authority meeting for November 16th, 2023. I call the meeting to order at 2:04 p.m. Please join me and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can we have a roll call, Mr. Secretary?
Yeah, so I can see Stefan is joining us remotely, and I understand that Vincent is excused, and let's see that Francis and Paul and I are here, and also is our solicitor Frank Bailey.
Cool, thank you. All right. Do we have a motion? All of you should have received the agenda. It's changed a few times, but it has been available to you electronically, was also made available to our website and also to the county for posting. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Any questions or comments? I do have a comment, and I'll have to ask the solicitor about this because I did try to do some research on this before the meeting. We do have a motion that is a mistake. The motion to approve emergency services grant of $2,500 to Parkside Borough Police Department. At the time I did the agenda, I was not clear that we actually sent the check. And as a result of the treasurer's report, I do see that we did receive the check. I mean, we did send the check and the check is clear. So can I remove that from the agenda, or can we just go through the process and
You move to table it from the agenda.
Okay.
But it's not coming up to vote again.
no.
No,
I'm sorry, that's a motion to remove it from the agenda.
So I can do that motion before we approve the agenda. So
Yes, you can.
before we vote on the motion to approve the agenda, I'd like to make a motion to remove the approval of emergency services grant of $2,500 to Parkside Borough Police Department for the reason it's a duplicate. Do I have a second? Second. Any questions or comments? All those in favor of removing that from the agenda, please say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Abstain? Thank you. We'll resume back to the motion to approve the agenda. Any additional questions or comments on the agenda? All those in favor to approve the agenda, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Motion carried. At this time, we'll open up the meeting to the public for public comment concerning the agenda. And we'll see if we have anyone virtually or in person, and seeing not, we will proceed. All of you should have received the minutes for the October 2023 DeSigra meeting. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a second?
second,
Any questions or comments on the minutes? All those in favor for approving the minutes, please say aye. Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Minutes are approved. Okay, at this time, we will move to the treasurer's report. For efficiency, I will make a motion to ratify the e-vote approval of September 2023 and October 2023 treasurer's reports. Do I have a second?
second,
Any questions or comments? Just like to say thank you for Stefan for revising those, and thank you to the board of authority for reviewing those and providing your e-vote approval. All those in favor, please say aye.
aye,
Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Right. Motion approved. I will turn it over to Stefan Roots, our treasurer, for the treasurer's report.
Another sound check. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, great. November 2023 report has an opening balance, $204,752.79. This particular month that started on October 1st through October 31st, we cleared $122,432.20 of checks. That's impressive. There were times we didn't even receive that much money. We have an ending balance on our statement of $82,328.64. In the bank as of yesterday is $234,975.75. We have since the end of October received our grant amount that's been deposited of $190,245.81. We've got a long list of clear checks here. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, I did not have the checkbook with me to list outstanding checks, but you can almost see by the gaps in the numbers on clear checks that we still have a number of outstanding checks. And Paul has a little report that shows what's been mailed and what hasn't been mailed. So once I get back to the checkbook, I will send out all the outstanding checks as of the day of, or as of after November 15th, from November 15th, that may not be on here.
No problem. I'll just add to that. So we did get one check returned. So I have reached out to them for the address. The address that they gave me looks exactly like this address, so I have to make sure that that's correct. They have a PO box and then they have a name on the same line, and I think that's messing up the post office. So I have to just confirm that the address is correct. We also have Multicultural Community Family Services. I'm waiting for the grant agreement. I thought I sent it. I sent it again today. So if they didn't get it the first time, they should have it now. I have the letter and the check ready to go. So as soon as I get that, I'll mail that out. We do have a check to Chester Upland Youth Services. The amount was wrong by $250. And I didn't want to send it to them because county council approved the exact amount. So when I can link up with Stefan, we'll issue the correct check and mail them the correct check. So those are the ones that I'm aware that are outstanding. Anything else you want to say, Stefan, concerning?
Nope, that concludes the report.
Can I ask you a question? The 204,752.79, was that the opening balance for October 1st?
Yes.
You said that. I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay. All right. No problem. All right. Do we have a motion to approve the November 2023 Treasurer's Report? Do we have a second? Second. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Treasurer's Report is approved. And I think we can, Stefan, it'll be your last report. I think we can remove. I don't know how the authority feels about this. I think we can go without having the current bank balance on there, because I think that's causing some confusion.
Okay.
We could talk about it. All right. All right.
So this is his last report. What about December?
December will be his last report.
Yeah.
All right. At this time, I'll turn it over to the solicitor if he has any comments or.
I'll have comments during the meeting, but I don't have anything to report.
Okay. We did get another census document.
I know.
All right.
Maybe we should hire someone so we can put in the report.
All right. Well, thank you. Any questions for the solicitor? Okay. So I did receive some communications from you. At the next meeting, we need to approve an advertisement of the
Meeting dates and reorganization.
Those are two separate motions.
No, it can all be in the same motion.
Okay, so the reorganization meeting date can be in the meeting dates for 2020.
Correct.
Okay.
Most likely the third Thursday of January, but.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right. Let's move on to old business. And we'll have a 2023 budget update from Francis.
Right. I think give you each a copy. It's not accurate number for, cent for cent or dollar for dollar because I didn't have, November yet, but I think gives us a flavor for where we are. You'll see the income, the 192.46 doesn't include the $8 in interest, but gives you a feel for we will have brought in almost $500,000 this year, which on top of our January balance of 99,000 gave us a total amount to work with this year of just under 600,000, even though our original budget that we developed a year ago was we were forecasting 360. Our operating expenses are pretty much on track, amounting to about 19 to 25,000 a year, which I think is extremely reasonable for the amount of money that we're working with. And I updated the grant numbers, including, I think, the increase that we would possibly approve
For arts and culture.
for arts and culture.
Yeah, the 69.5.
25. Is it 75?
Arts and culture, fourth quarter, 69,500.
Yeah. Okay. I highlighted the 25 under economic and community development. That wasn't the one I should have highlighted the one under key partners grant, because that's the Delco literacy project grant that we're discussing today. So if we were to not give out any more money after today's meeting, we would have about 70,000 in the bank at the end of the year. Well, not 75, I apologize, 120. Because that 25,000 we haven't even discussed yet. So we're ending the year well ahead of where we thought we would, which was to end the year at 46,000.
Okay.
So it's almost time for us to start developing a draft budget for the coming year. Probably we should think about doing that.
Okay, I have a quick question for you. The arts and culture grants totals for the total year is 107,786.
Yes.
That is the 69,500 for the 2023 Arts and Culture Fund that we're about to approve in a few minutes. The $5,000 for the Delco Arts Week.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 33,286, that's coming over from stuff that we approved
The year
from last year.
before.
Okay, and we paid it out in this year.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it was the housing unit, the Chester Housing Initiative, Musicopia, LifeWorks, MusicWorks, Keep Music Alive.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, any questions? Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate it. Okay. All right, also, we received email update on kind of the scope of work for possible business outsourcing services from Vincent Rogione. He's sent that to us, and I don't have it on my agenda because I printed this as an old agenda. Any questions or comments on the scope of the two buckets that he had? Okay, can I see your agenda?
Yeah, I have. Before I can. I printed that out from the website.
Okay. All right, so at this time, I'll ask if there's a motion to advertise an RFP for accounting treasurer services. We will make sure that this RFP is available for editing to all of the authority members before it is released.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. There's also do we have a motion to advertise RFP for grant web services? And he provided the scope for these services as well.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? I'll make a comment. I will not be approving this. I felt like we did have a lot of grants in September and October. I think that was partially because we had so many grant categories come together at the same time. I think with effective planning, even though we are a volunteer board, I think that we can efficiently distribute the grants. So that's just my opinion.
But who's gonna update the website and provide a report on all the grants that are made in a format on the website that is easy for folks to, that tells the story of all the things that we're funding? I would suggest we still send it out and see what comes back.
Right, I agree.
And then we can either decide we're not going to do it, decide, oh, this looks great, let's do it, or see if whoever we really like would be willing to do a piece of it.
Any other comments or questions?
I mean, it does seem like a lot of work. It's like our grants have been tripled or quadrupled since we started as a little mom and pop thing a few years ago. And, and you're doing a lot of work. You're vetting them and you're setting out grant agreements and getting them back and so forth. One thing I think we could consider is maybe making larger grants. I mean, $10,000 seems like a lot of money, but if you're paying someone to do really good things, it's not a whole lot of money for a salary.
Yeah, something that we're gonna have a strategic
Yeah.
discussion about.
Yeah.
All right, any other
You mean
questions?
fewer, larger grants, so we're not moving as much out the door.
Well, not necessarily fewer if our revenue keeps on going up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Any other questions or comments? All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I oppose. Abstain? Motion carries 3-1. All right, thank you. All right, moving on to new business. We have a motion to approve one-time special grant of $25,000 to Delaware County Literacy Council. I'll make the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Questions and comments? At this time, I'll turn it over to Francis. if she'd
Well,
like to make a
I
comment.
think this is one of the most critically important nonprofits in our community, and we have a lot, obviously. We haven't had an RFP in a particular area that they could submit to. We had provided them funding before, and their new executive director came in, I thought made a very strong report on how they'd used the funds in the past and proposal for how to use them going forward. I also think it's particularly important at a time when a nonprofit is in the transition from one CEO to another, to make sure that there's stability, that there's support for the organization, to give that new CEO the opportunity to get, off and running with as much community support as possible. I've been impressed so far with her familiarity with the issues and how she's setting her priorities. I think that they are a worthwhile investment.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, I think it's great to help people who are trying to get their GED, who have a difficult time for whatever reason when they're a teenager. And also helping immigrants who don't know the language. I can't imagine going to another culture and not knowing the language, trying to get my feet on the ground.
And it's such a big part of our community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will agree. I'm a little cautious, but I do agree. I'm just concerned about if this is a cyclical thing over a period of time for some of these special grants, but I approve of the mission and I approve of the work. So it's more of a strategic discussion as far as some of these one-time grants, because if we do it in 2022, we do it in 2023, if we do it in 2024, is it a one-time grant anymore?
Well, I
But that's
think it's
something that we
true.
need to talk
It's
about.
true of all of our grants.
Correct.
I mean, most of our grantees now are folks who it's a second time around.
Right.
So are we saying we're going to give them a priority for a third or?
It's just something that I was thinking about.
Mhm.
Well, they're
Uh,
also, you got to consider they're a one of a kind. There's,
All right.
you're not going to see 3 or 4 people that come up that do provide those same services, and none of them will have done it as long as they have. So that has to be considered as well.
Thank you. All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carried. All right. I'm going to make a motion for the total allocation first, and then we'll move on to the individual grants. So I will make a motion, and I'll just for efficiency purposes, I'll make the motion to approve arts and culture total grant allocation from $50,000 to up to $69,500, pending the grants approved below. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. All right, so let's move on to some of the individual, you want to do, I'll let you do the other business after that.
Yes.
No,
Mhm.
forget.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, I apologize. Motion to approve grant of $8,750 to Mainline Arts Center. And I just want to make a note, all of these are pending county council approval. So once again, I'll read that again. Motion to approve grant of $8,750 to Mainline Arts Center. All those in, do I have a second? I'm sorry.
Second.
All right. Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Motion to approve grant of $10,000 to Darlington Fine Arts Center. Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carried. Motion to approve grant of $5,000 to Hooper Council Positive Potential Impact. Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? I'll make a comment. I wrote it here on my minutes. I feel like the scope is more geared towards youth services. I'm concerned about the population is isolated to a school or a church. And I don't know if this is a distinct, separate nonprofit, or if this is just a project of the school, and if the school is nonprofit. So I just have some questions about
Mhm.
this.
I will not be approving this grant.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
I oppose. Abstain? Motion dies. All right, motion to approve grant of $10,000 to Hedgerow Theater. Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Motion to approve grant of $10,000 to Upper Darby Arts and Education Foundation. Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Motion to approve grant of $10,000 to Dancing Classroom Philly for Chester Upland School District and William Penn School District. Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Motion carried. Motion to approve grant of $10,000 to Overtown Arts. Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions or comments?
I'll be recusing myself.
Recusing.
Recusing herself. I am not in approval for this because it is the development of a website. I think there's other options that they can explore to for a website. That's just my opinion.
What if they came to us for general operating support? but then they ended up using it for a website. I mean, is the mistake they made that they were more too specific? Seriously, we have this discussion in our grant making work all the time. Are they doing wonderful work? Is the purpose wonderful? Then why are we giving them a hard time about exactly how they're going to use the money? Isn't it? If this is what they say they need now in order to accomplish what they want to do.
I hear you.
I'm only abstaining because we're the fiscal sponsor. I don't benefit
Okay,
personally, but
I'm listening to you.
for appearance's sake, I am recusing.
Okay.
I am abstaining.
All right. Any other
I'm
comments?
abstaining. I'm not abstaining. I'm
You're
recusing
You're
myself.
recusing, yes. Any other comments?
Yeah, I'll say, I hear what you're saying, Paul. The website that's going to be built will support only arts related organizations that they're associated with. So it really will benefit the arts related entities that are related to Overtown Arts, particularly communicating the programs that they'll be having far better to the audience that they're trying to reach.
Thank you. Right. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain?
I'm recusing myself.
Recusing.
Mhm.
Motion
You
dies.
abstained.
Does it die 2-1?
No, it didn't die. We won.
No, it's gotta be a, Mr. Solicitor,
What was the vote total?
2-1.
No, that's okay.
it does?
Yeah, we have a,
I thought it had to be.
no,
three.
you have a quorum. And
Okay,
once,
all right.
once you have a quorum,
Motion is approved.
You only need 3, then we have majority vote 2-1. So-
Technically, we have a quorum is 3, right?
Well, yeah, we have.
we have a quorum here, which is 3,
Okay.
and then the board can take up whatever they want and
And it
whoever
was,
has
it
the
was
vote.
more than 2-1. Okay. All right, thank you.
2-1-1.
2-1-1. Okay. All right, motion to approve grant of $5,800 to keep music alive. Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oppose, abstain, motion carries. Is there any other new business?
Yes, I'd like to share that a new development that I thought the board should be aware of and that I may ask for an item to be put on December's agenda. Each year, the IRS awards grants to nonprofits to run programs to help people fill out their tax forms so they can benefit low-income people to fill out their tax forms so that they can realize as much of a rebate as possible. And normally those grants have been awarded to a community action agency, as well as I think Neighbor to Neighbor in Sharon Hill. Clarify has also received funding in the past. They usually operate just in Philly, but they have had a Delaware County office in the past. This year, there must have been some sort of shift in the point system for ranking the grant proposals because no agency in Delaware County was awarded funding to carry out this program. So Community Action Agency would still like to carry out the program, but needs to find about $45,000 to be able to do that. So they're out there looking for funding on an emergency basis so that they can carry out the program in the new year. This seemed to be right up our alley, not because it's an emergency, but because it's such an important program, benefits high-need communities in Delaware County. The organization is already experienced in providing the services. And we certainly have the funding to be able to do that before the end of the year. So I'll continue to keep in communication with folks about the need. And if it does look like they would benefit from having a grant from us, I will come back and ask for that to be put on the agenda.
Any
Could they
questions or
put
comments?
something in writing if it doesn't?
I would ask that they do a 2-page, 1 to 2 page.
Yeah, request.
Proposal, yes.
And
I'll
do you
do
know,
that.
do you know, I know you don't know the answer to this now. Do you know if is there a potential for the full ask of 45,000?
I
Full
don't
ask of
think so.
45.
I think they're looking for other funding.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, would we consider the full ask? That would be the biggest. I don't think we've made a grant of more than 25,000 in the past. Have we?
I think we did 50 for share, didn't we?
There, I think we did 50.
Oh, yes, a few years ago, you're right.
Okay. And this is for primarily low to middle income
Yes.
households or
Mhm.
individuals. Okay.
Mhm.
And Community Action Program is the name of the organization?
Community action.
Community Action Agency, they are the designated anti-poverty organization in Delaware County.
And do they provide these services throughout the county, or do the taxpayers have to go to a specific, like, is it?
There's
one
usually,
site?
there's not usually one site, it's usually a couple of satellites here and there. They have their main offices in Boothwyn, they have a satellite site in Upper Darby. Sometimes they'll partner with another organization, another community, and be there a few hours a week. that
Okay,
sort of thing.
kind of like a pop-up during the tax season.
Right, but I will ask them to outline for us what they plan on doing, what their experience is, what they plan on doing, and what the cost would be.
And this is usually a program that is funded by
The
the
IRS. Mhm.
And now our county potentially may not have any tax preparation services funded by the IRS.
Correct. Other than Villanova University Law School, they have a tax prep center. But I'm pretty sure that's just at Villanova. I'm
At
not
their-
sure. I think that's the sort of thing that they can
Okay.
put in their proposal. What else is out there?
Okay, thank you for making us aware of that.
Mhm.
Any other new business? Right, this time we'll open the floor for public comment. Do we have any public comment? Do we have any authority comments? I like to,
Congratulations to our chair on his election to serve on the Prospect Park Board of Council.
and I compliment, I'd like to congratulate our treasurer as well for being elected to as mayor of Chester. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Stefan.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstain?
I don't-
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Meetings.